What's up guys, my name's Nick and I'm a mountain biker. Today we're going to talk about a few easy maintenance tips that anyone can do to get your bike ready for your next ride. If your bike isn't a mountain bike, most of these tips will still be useful regardless of the style of your bike. These are going to be things you'll want to do between each major ride sesh to extend the life of your bike and also make sure it's safe to ride. Before we begin, you'll want to make sure your bike is decently clean. Your bike doesn't need to be spotless to perform at its best. However, there is one area on the bike that cleanliness really does matter: the drivetrain. Keeping a clean and well-oiled drivetrain will not only help with smoother shifting, it will also increase its longevity. Dirt and muck stick to your drivetrain as you ride, and if you leave it to build up over multiple rides, it will wear your chain and grind your gears. To clean my drivetrain, I like to use an old toothbrush and spray degreaser. I spray the toothbrush with degreaser and go to work on my chain ring, cassette, and jockey wheels. Be sure to never spray the degreaser directly onto your drivetrain, as you could risk contaminating disc brakes or bearings. It may take some elbow grease, but the more you scrub, the more you'll get out of it. Once you're done, be sure to rinse the degreaser off with a hose. You'll need to lube the chain next, and the lube won't work if there's degreaser coating your drivetrain. When it comes to lubricating the drivetrain, there are many brands of lube you can choose. The main types are dry and wet lube, dry for dry conditions and wet for wet conditions. I like to use Rock and Roll Gold lubricant. It cleans and lubricates, so the chain always ends up looking super iced out. Each lube is a little different as far as application goes, but kind of the same. Just make sure you hit each roller because that's what really needs lubricated. After that, run the chain in reverse to get the juices flowing. Wipe the excess, run it through the gears, or take it for a ride. If you want to make sure you're doing it 400% correct, just read the bottle, because like I said, it can depend on what lube you have. While cleaning and lubricating, take note of any damage or excess wear on your drivetrain. Run through all of your gears to be sure the bike is shifting properly. If not, fix the issue or take the bike to your local mechanic. Not only does poor shifting suck, but it can damage your drivetrain. Now that the drivetrain is out of the way, inspect the bike to see if anything is loose. A few basic places to check are stem bolts, through axles, and pedals. If you want to be 4,000% sure everything is tightened correctly, I would suggest investing in a torque wrench. Next, you can check your headset. First lock your fork, then grab your brakes, turn your wheel and push forward and backward to make sure there is no play in the headset. Last but not least, check your wheels for spokes that feel loose. If you notice loose spokes, you will want to get the wheel trued before the wheel becomes unsalvageable. The final step is checking the air pressure in your fork and rear shock. This doesn't need to be done between each ride, but the more you check it, the more accurate it'll be when you go to ride. Now that your bike has been cleaned, lubed, inspected, and tuned, take a moment to think if anything else needs replaced, such as a CO2 cartridge, tubes, or other items that may have been used up during your last ride. This way, you'll be ready to rock and roll when the opportunity comes to go for a ride. The very last thing I do, usually at the trailhead, is pumping up my tires to the exact PSI I need. I wait until the last minute to do this because with my tubeless setup, sometimes the tire loses pressure just sitting idle. This way, I always know they're dialed. I hope these tips have helped you get your bike ready for your next big adventure. If you liked this video, consider subscribing to Nick and Katie. And as always, I'm Nick. Thanks for watching.